Well, I again, and here I am again. So what day? It's about 3 days since I last did any of this altered book. So I'm just sat here and I've just been, and I probably find that I've got something missing. And you know, last time I said that I wasn't going to go and edit it. Well, I did. I did put it on iMovie briefly. But that's fine because I'm getting quicker at that because I've done quite a lot of that. So I'm not going to ramble today. I'm not going to go on. You'll be glad to hear. But you can see, well, I'll show you in a minute. I'll show you what has happened with the paint and the books and, you know, with letting that dry. But I just want to also go through some of the things that I have, the bits and bobs. So I'm going to put this onto my tripod now and then I will carry on talking. Okay, so just bear with me. Yeah, and I'm definitely recording, aren't I? Yes, I am. Right, so this is what we did. And this is where we got up to. But you can see it's all copied. But you can see when I say that it's good to actually stick some pages together, because this is quite flimsy. But I'm not going to worry about that because you can add bits of paper. And that's dried quite nicely. And then we've got these others. See, that's much thicker. You know, that's going to be better to work on. And then that one's even thicker. It's almost like card now. I know it's all cockled, but that doesn't matter. That's just the beauty of the book. Now, I've been sat here thinking, well, what am I going to do? And you can overthink it. I think you've just got to think, right, on this page, I'm going to do that. Because I'm thinking, well, I could do this, and I could do that, and I could do all the other bits and bobs, and blah, blah, blah. But I'm just going to show you some of the things that I've got. Jigsaw pieces. You get those from a charity shop. You can paint them. You can write on them and put them on, you know, or you can just leave them as they are. I've got old maps, some really beautiful old maps which I could cut up. Some more newer modern type ones. And then, you know, I said that later on, see, I buy bits of things like here from charity shops because they've got like beautiful little keys in. So say, you know, you wanted to add something like that, what we'll do at the end, we will probably stick quite a lot of pages to the back, maybe only part, maybe cut all of that out, stick all of those together and stick it to the back, and then we can cut a hole in that and put a key in or something. This is my bit box. I can't imagine ever wanting to put those on, but you never know. But, you know, somebody gave me these old cigarette cards, which could come in useful. There are bits of gems. I've already talked about these. You can take the picture out, we can paint them, we can do bits and bobs on there. Forget that. Lots of coins I've got here. What else have I got? I've just got, you know, like you get these in the back of canvases. I never quite know what to do with them. They're to stretch your canvas, aren't they? Well, they're quite nice because you can just stick them on and you can write messages on. It just adds a bit of texture, if you like. That's a posh word, isn't it, for the day? And then I keep bits of music, like this. Not going to get them out. And then in a cracker once, I got these lovely little cards. They're just so pretty. And bits of music, bits of maps, like that. I've got these. I've even got like that, you know, you could put that through a page, couldn't you? I don't know why you would, but why not? I'll just show you these bits of leaves. There you go, you hear the jet go over there. Doilies. Stamps. My dad had loads and loads of stamps, so you could either soak them off or you could just tear and just use them as they are. You know, but I've got to make sure that I've not got like a penny black in there or something really, really rare. That would be funny, wouldn't it? If I sort of stuck it in and found out it was worth a few £1,000s. Really old newspapers. You can get these from charity shops sometimes with like, you know, old costumes in, lovely bits of wrapping paper, patterns, you know, old patterns. It just creates something really interesting. Well, that's actually an old bit of rust, a rusted can. I just love that. I don't quite know what I'd do with it, but I've not thrown it away. But I was talking about my dad's fishing flies. So they would have to be embedded in a way that people wouldn't actually get stabbed. But yeah, I would like to do a page based on that. you need to start with a bit box. And then I was looking, thinking, well, what am I going to do first? I'm going to do this page. So you need to think, right, okay, I'm just going to do that. So if you need to look up altar books on Google and look at the images, you'll find some sort of inspiration. So I'm looking at this sort of thing. I'm just going to make a start. So that one, or maybe, you know, that. So this one is painted over it a little bit. So we've still got some of the text showing, but then they've done a beautiful drawing over it, or you could do something quite abstract. So that's where I'm going to start today. And what I am going to do is what we call, what do they call it, Ruth? Come on. I can't remember the name of it. But basically, we're going to do a drawing on here. And you're going to be looking at a setup, like a still life setup. But I'm not going to do anything special. I'm going to put my pot out here with my brushes so that they're in front of me. I've got, you know, I've got scissors hanging about, and pencils and rulers, and it doesn't really matter. It can be whatever there is in front of you. You don't need to go making a beautiful setup of like vases and what have you. And the secret is, so that you get a really lively drawing, you look at your subjects, but you don't look at what you're drawing. So that's going to be tricky for me, because obviously I want you to be able to see what I'm doing up here. I'm just making sure, yeah, you can see me. But very often I just put this just a little bit behind me so that I'm drawing behind me and then I'm looking ahead. But I promise that I will just focus on my still life. I might just put a pair of scissors in there. I'm putting a pair of scissors in my pot. I know you can't see my still life, but yeah, that's fine. But before I start, I'll just have a drink. This is the answer to everything in my life, is a cup of tea. All right, so let's just start. I'm going to do it in pencil first. It's not that I'm scared of doing it in pen. It's just that once you've done it, there might be some lines that you think, well, actually, I don't like that. So you can rub those out, right? So if you have it to the side of you so you don't see, but I promise I'm not looking. I am looking at the object head. So what you need to do is put your hand or your pencil where you want to start. So I think, right, okay, I'm going to start with looking at the top of this brush here, and then I'm going to start drawing what I see around it until I sort of fall off the page. But you're not looking at what you're drawing. So, and the hard part is when you get to a point you want to take your pencil off, and then you want to go back to the top of another brush or whatever, you don't know where to put it, but you mustn't cheat, okay? Kids like doing this as well. Right, so you'll probably be looking at this having a good old giggle, but it usually comes out really nicely and you get some really lovely abstract shapes. And that's what we want. I'm just doing an abstract design, and then I can put bits of paper on it, etc. Right, so here goes. So I promise I'm not looking at what I'm drawing. Okay. Okay, that's that bit, and then, yeah, I need to go back down and then start another brush, and you might think, brush? What's she on about? And then there's going to be another brush. It's a smaller one. And it's really, really tempting to look, but I'm not going to. Now, funnily enough, this is a toothbrush, because I do use a toothbrush in my painting, because it's great for spattering paint on, for like splashes of the sea. And then I've got this, I'm just going to change the perspective of that actually. Yeah, so I'll go down here. Then I've got like a pair of scissors, and it's got like a hole in it, and then there's another bit here, and I've no idea what I'm drawing because I'm not looking, and there'll be, all these will be overlapping other lines, I presume. And then I've got the lip of the vase, or the jug, and then it comes round here, and then it goes back up there and the handle's broken off, but never mind. My daughter painted this for me, so it's quite special. And it has a picture of a cow on it. That's its nose. And then its body. And then the black and white markings of the cow. It's got some little legs. And its udder. And then like that. So then I think, well, should I, there's a bit of a book behind there. So, oh, I've come off the page. That's fine. So I know that. Then it sort of will probably continue up here somewhere. It'll go right off the page there. And then there's a ruler. There's a ruler there, and it's got like little markings on it. And then actually there's another brush there. Oh, I'm going to look at it now. Oh, I like that. I like that. You might not be able to see it brilliantly. But you now can. I've not got a rubber up here, but to be honest, I'm not too worried about all of those lines. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. So what you do now is you have to be careful about the pen because it's going over the top of paint. It might sort of ruin it eventually. But I'm now going to go over this with a black pen. You could go over it in paint actually. Probably use acrylic or something like that. And I'm just going to go over it just a little bit at a time. This is so therapeutic, I can't tell you, because now you are beginning to think about shapes rather than, you know, what it was meant to be. That's a sewing machine going on next door. Jeanette's doing, she's got a commission of doing all these aprons for a company, so this is why if I waited for it to be quiet I'd never do anything. Now, but I want you then to vary the weight of the line, and you might not be able to see properly because I'm a hand, but can you see I'm making a double line there, and then I'm going to fill that in. Okay, so I'm being really gentle with this pen because I don't want it to run out. So I've made a thicker bit going to a thinner bit. And if you have a shape like that, you could fill the whole of that in. I'm not going to, but you could think, oh, I'm going to fill that in. But actually, I'm just going to make it a bit thicker there, like that. Now I'm going to have to watch the timing here because on Instagram, the reason that I kept fiddling around with, and I didn't get it on the day I wanted actually onto Instagram is because I didn't realise that unless you've got millions of followers, you can only put something on that's 15 minutes long. So this is probably why I will have to edit it. So can you see what I'm doing? So it's going from thin to thick. So you can just decide what you want to be thin and thick. And you're no longer looking at it as paintbrushes in a pot. You're just looking at it decoratively, thinking these are going to be some lovely shapes. And then we can paint bits or colour bits or add bits of paper over it. So what I suggest you do, so that I'm not going to run out of time, is that you start with a page like this. So if you've painted one of your pages, just either set a few things up in front of you or whatever there is in front of you. Just do a drawing, but without looking at what you're drawing, which is really hard not to look. And then do what I'm doing. And in the next video, I will show you what I've done and how I'm going to develop it from there. So can you see what's beginning to happen? Yeah, that's looking quite cool. Right, so I'm going to leave it there and I'll see you in the next video.